I turned down being my friend's bridesmaid because I couldn't afford it. My friend Jessica and I have been close since college. We used to be roommates and did everything together. So when she got engaged to her boyfriend Mark, I was super excited for her. About 3 months after the engagement, she texted me asking if we could meet for coffee. I figured she wanted to talk about wedding stuff and maybe ask me to be a bridesmaid. I was nervous because I knew her wedding was going to be expensive, and I'm currently working 2 jobs just to pay my bills. We met at this coffee shop near her apartment and she was all smiles. She started showing me pictures of venues and flowers and going on about how perfect everything was. Then she pulled out her phone and showed me this dress. It was this floor-length burgundy gown that looked like something you'd wear to the Oscars. Isn't it gorgeous? She said, I already ordered one in your size. I just stared at her. She'd already ordered the dress before even asking me to be a bridesmaid. Then she kept going, telling me about the bachelorette trip to Miami she'd booked for all the bridesmaids. 3 nights at a beach resort, clubbing, spa day, the whole thing. That's when I asked how much everything would cost. Jessica got this weird look on her face and said not to worry about it, that it would all be worth it for her special day. But I pushed for actual numbers. The dress was $400. The bachelorette trip was around $800 for flights and hotel. Then there was hair and makeup day of the wedding, another $200. Bridesmaid gift for her, at least $100. Plus, I'd need shoes, jewelry, and I'd have to take time off work, which I couldn't really afford to do. I did the math in my head, and it came out to more than what I pay for rent each month. My stomach dropped. Jessica was still talking about how fun it was all going to be, and how she'd always dreamed of having me as one of her bridesmaids. I finally interrupted her and said I needed to be honest. I told her I loved her and wanted to support her wedding, but I genuinely couldn't afford to spend that much money right now. I explained that I was barely making ends meet, and that amount would completely drain my savings. Her smile disappeared. She put her phone down and looked at me like I just told her I hated her. Are you seriously putting money over our friendship? She asked. Her voice got all high and angry. I tried to explain that it wasn't about choosing money over friendship. It was about being realistic about what I could actually afford. I offered to help with wedding planning or be involved in other ways that wouldn't cost so much. But Jessica wasn't hearing it. She said a real friend would find a way to make it work, that everyone else had agreed to be bridesmaids without complaining about money. She grabbed her purse and left the coffee shop without even finishing her drink. The next day, I started getting texts from our mutual friends. Apparently, Jessica had told everyone I turned her down and made it sound like I was just being cheap. One friend sent me a long message about how weddings only happen once and I should just put it on a credit card. Another friend said I was being selfish and that Jessica deserved better. Nobody wanted to hear my side about actually not having the money. They all acted like I was making excuses. Jessica stopped responding to my texts completely. When I tried calling her, she'd send me straight to voicemail. I even showed up at her apartment once to try to talk things out, but her roommate answered and said Jessica didn't want to see me. 2 weeks later, I saw on Instagram that she'd asked another girl from our friend group to be a bridesmaid instead. Someone I knew she wasn't even that close with. It was pretty clear she'd only asked her because she said yes to spending all that money.